Sampson.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to make sure I understand this amendment clearly. The underlying bill, if I recall, set a requirement of the things that are in this bill, the establishment of a project labor agreement and so forth, for only projects that are non-government projects in excess of $2.5 million or 5 megawatts. And the new language is now going to reduce that to 2 megawatts, and there is no more limitation based on the dollar investment. I just want to make sure that's correct through you, Madam President.
Senator Kushner.
Through you, Madam President, that is correct.
Senator Sampson.
Thank you, Madam President. So just doing a little research on my own, I understand that a 2 megawatt project is something that might power around 400 homes. I'm just curious if that is an accurate assessment according to the kind chairwoman of the Labor Committee. Through you, Madam President.
Senator Kushner.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, it sounds right. I don't have that exact definition in front of me, but it sounds about right.
Senator Sampson.
Well, thank you, Madam President. Okay, so what's happening here in this amendment is we are essentially going to create a requirement that these projects, which essentially are an investment in green energy projects, will now have to be subjected to these regulations that establish a need for organized labor to participate. That sounds to me like what the bill does, and the amendment is actually going to make it apply to all but the smallest residential clean energy project. As a result, I can't support it. I don't support the bill, and I certainly don't support the notion of imposing these requirements on even very small projects. So I'm going to encourage my colleagues to vote no on the amendment because I think it makes a bad bill even worse. And I will be back to discuss the bill depending on what happens with the amendment. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Will you remark further on the amendment that is before the chamber? Good afternoon, Senator Champagne. Senator Sampson.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I apologize for getting up a second time. I'll be very brief. I just wanted to point something out. There was a conversation earlier where we established that the amendment would reduce the limit to 2 megawatts. And we also established that that is a relatively small number of residential homes. I can't remember whether I was told it was 400 homes for 1 megawatt or 2, but either way, that'd be under 1,000 homes. So I just want to clarify that, since I think we just heard the proponent of the bill say that it would be unusual for a municipality to exceed that limit. And I don't see that at all. I think that it's extremely likely they would exceed that limit. And I'd like that on the record. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator. Will you remark further on
Senate Amendment A? Total number voting 33, total voting yea 22, total voting nay 11, absent not voting 3.
the amendment is adopted. Will you remark further on the bill as amended? Senator Sampson.
Thank you, Madam President. So the amendment has been adopted, and therefore this bill now is going to affect any renewable energy project that is in excess of 2 megawatts, and there are no longer any provisions for a dollar amount of renewable energy investment. I don't have a lot to say about this bill, Madam President. I just want to boil it down very simply for the folks that are listening, what we're voting on here. But I would start my comments by suggesting that the title is problematic. I'm often frustrated by titles of bills in this building. It strikes me all the time that the title is supposed to create some sort of energy, pun intended, on the legislation that's before us. But bills, as we know, are much more than titles. The title of this bill says, "An Act Concerning a Just Transition to Climate Protective Energy Production and Community Investment." Well, first off, I don't think any bill title should ever contain the word just. I mean, this implies anyone that's voting against the bill is unjust. And that's just not acceptable, Madam President. Not when we're making public policy. We should not have the word just in a title. And we should not be implying what is just or unjust in a title. What's also ironic is that this bill title claims to be in favor of protecting the climate, an act concerning a just transition to climate protective energy production. Anyone looking at that at a glance would say, well, this bill must be in favor of clean energy. But this bill is not in favor of clean energy at all. In fact, it is exactly 100% contrary to clean energy. The result of this legislation, ladies and gentlemen, will be that less clean energy projects go forward. No one can deny that. It's very simple. What we're doing is we are putting new restrictions on any private investment for renewable energy projects. That's certainly not going to have the result of having more people wanting to do them. If you go back and you look at the testimony on the original bill, which was nowhere near as, in my opinion, egregious in how far this actually goes, Madam President, the only folks that supported the bill were people that were supporting organized labor. The people that actually invest money in renewable energy projects, they all were in opposition. Well, this bill affects private investment of renewable energy, not state projects, just private investment. So what this bill is actually doing is telling people that want to do private investment in energy projects, go to a different state, because you are not wanted here, because what we're going to do is we're going to make you follow these new guidelines. Forgive me if I sound frustrated, Madam President. I do not like having to vote no on a title that implies that this bill is a good thing, a just thing, and that it's somehow designed to protect the environment. Because the bill doesn't protect the environment. And don't let anybody get up and tell you it does. It does not. It puts more restrictions on people that want to create renewable energy projects, not less. That will mean less projects, less green energy, less good environment in the future. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Sampson. Will you remark further?